Live from News 7 KWWL, we've got you covered. This is KWWL News at Noon.
Now on KWWL News at Noon, health experts calling on the Governor Reynolds to issue a mask mandate. We'll hear from them. Plus, across the world, cities reimposing lockdown measures as COVID-19 cases continue to rise. And some tips and tricks when it comes to keeping your social media accounts secure. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for KWWL News at Noon. I'm Ashley Neighbor. A beautiful day to enjoy your lunch outside. Right now, taking a live look outside of our Hawkeye Community College in Waterloo. We're seeing some cooler temps with a lot of sunshine, just how I like it. Let's send things over to Storm Track 7 meteorologist Joy Bettenhausen for a check on your forecast. Joy, what can we expect?
Yes, we can expect those nice temperatures and some of that sunshine to continue for some of us out there. Others will see some cloud cover. But these temperatures, we just can't beat them. 72 in Waterloo, 64 in Dubuque, 66 in Washington. A little bit chilly as I headed to work earlier this morning. Dew points, though, upper 40s to low 50s. We haven't seen something like that. And man, it's been quite some time. July was pretty warm out there. On satellite and radar, those to the north and west seeing that sunshine, but we're starting to see some cloud cover build in into the east and south there. Here's a look outside. Storm Track 7 Live Weather Network in Coralville. A little bit of cloud cover there, but not too bad of a day. Definitely head outside today, eat your lunch outside, or just take a nice walk. We'll be talking about how this nice weather and how long it will last coming up in just a couple minutes.
Here in Iowa, more than 45,800 Iowans have tested positive for COVID-19. The death toll now reaching 878 within the last 24 hours. 27 more people were hospitalized. This brings the total number of hospitalizations to 241. 78 are in the ICU, while more than 33,100 have recovered from the virus. Taking a look at cases county by county, Black Hawk still showing numbers from Sunday morning where there is more than 3,600 positive cases. Within the last 24 hours, Lynn County added 43 cases. Johnson County, 16 more, and Dubuque adding 20 new cases. Iowa medical professionals are calling on Governor Reynolds to issue a statewide mask mandate.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing because the science is clear, the right thing to do is clear, and for some reason our state is not doing it.
Physicians gathered at the state capitol over the weekend to discuss data on masks. They say since the virus can be spread by asymptomatic carriers, a mask mandate is necessary.
Drunk driving law says, hey, you can't drink too much before you drive. That's telling somebody what they can't do. But the purpose of that is to save others and to protect them. And that's the point of government in the first place, is to protect its citizens.
Iowa is one of about 20 states that doesn't have a statewide mandate. A Dubuque County 4-H swine show volunteer tested positive for COVID-19. Iowa State University Extension and Outreach Regional Director says the volunteer initially reported no symptoms, but later reported them and was tested. The volunteer had minimal contact with others. In Dubuque, Holy Family Catholic Schools has published its final return to learn plan. All students can attend in-person classes starting August 24th. Parents can choose to keep their children at home. The senior administrator says it's important to get kids back in the classroom.
Are an extension of their family. They come here for care. They come here for learning. They come here for food. They come here for guidance. They come here for so many different reasons. And so we think it's critical that we have them back if they're able.
Classes will be live streamed so students can participate from home. Areas around the world that believed they had the virus under control are now reimposing lockdown measures as a resurgence in cases worldwide has authorities worried. Bill Neely reports.
From Manila in the Philippines to Manchester in England, from Melbourne in Australia to Madrid in Spain, the story is the same. Rising COVID infection rates and new lockdown measures imposed by authorities who thought they had the infections under control. It's nowhere more glaring than in one of the world's most populous cities, Manila, the capital of the Philippines, where 12 million people are now under a very tight lockdown imposed by the hardline President Duterte. In Melbourne, in Australia, a different story, a city of 5 million people, but the authorities there imposing what they call shock and awe all tactics. A curfew from 8 o'clock at night. Melbourne and Australia had been one of the world's great success stories, but rising infection rates mean that new tight rules are necessary. And it's the same across Europe, the tourist season in full swing, but lockdowns and new rules are tightening there. But in Europe, it's different from the Americas. The Americas are still the hub of this, with the United States, Brazil and Mexico the top 3 countries for death tolls in the world. Bill Neely, NBC News, London.
Now to a developing story. Microsoft says its CEO is in talks with President Trump about buying TikTok. The president has threatened to ban the Chinese video app from the U.S. amid national security concerns. Microsoft promises a complete security review if it takes over TikTok and vows to keep user data safe. The company hopes to own and operate TikTok in the U.S., Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. Social media is something we all use every day, logging in, using personal information to interact with the modern world. But there are a few things we can do to keep in mind and stay better secured for our accounts. After the recent hacking of high-level Twitter accounts, it has shown the nation any account can be hacked into. Chief Trust Officer at UniC's Tom Patterson says to be aware of suspicious messages. It sounds easy, but hackers have improved their craft to make it look normal. Patterson says hacker emails or messages are disguised as people you may know. So always double check by calling the name that's listed and asking if they sent you that message. Patterson says hacking has become very easy and very common, and unfortunately people fall for the oldest tricks in the book.
The trick was, hey, if you give me $5, I'll give you $10 back tomorrow. People need to remember that that's not going to happen. That doesn't happen in this world, this life that we live in. So when they saw emails coming out from famous people with blue checks that they trust that offered that scam, they should know that's not going to happen.
Patterson wants people to understand that no one is safe from hackers unless you take security seriously. Coming up, from a yoga studio to a classroom, how one woman is helping kids get back to learning. But first, here's a check on the numbers from Wall Street and the farm markets.